Welcome to South Florida Saltwater Fishing. I'm Heath and it's Tips and Tricks Thursday. In this episode this week, we're going to go over what everybody calls the HaHa rig, also known as the HaHa rig. Basically, it's a couple of tandem hooks snelled together on a line, and we'll get into that shortly. First, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. All right, everybody. It's that time. Let's get into this. So to tie a HaHa rig, or a HaHa rig, I'm sorry, it's very simple. You need a couple things. You need your leader, a couple of hooks. I've got some 1/0 big eye hooks. You can see the eye is rather large size. And your pliers to trim up your tag ends and stuff. So essentially what it's going to be is you've got two hooks that are going to run tandem. They're snelled onto your leader, and then you hook them onto your bait. I'm going to get into that and show you how to properly do this, and what application you can also apply after it's done, and we'll go from there. All right, so first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need your leader. You're going to tie on your top hook first, which would be this one if I had them laid out in formation. So you want to have a good sized tag end so you can tie on your second one. So you're going to want to snell these hooks. You don't want to put it through the eye, you just want to lay it flat along the back end of it. Make yourself a loop. And sorry about this. All right. So we've got a loop so we can snell it. And then you're just going to go around your hook about 8 times with your tag end. Oops. Did not mean to hit the camera there, but it happens. So when you're snelling the line, you want to make sure that you're not running backwards towards your hook. Otherwise, your knot won't come out right. You want to always go towards your bend or your shank, away from the eye. Okay, so now that I've got a bunch of wraps, I'm going to take my tag end and send it through my little loop that's left on the end here. And then I can pull it through. There we go, that's hook number 1 snelled on there for you. Okay, now we're going to do another one tandem at the other end. And then you will see what is called the HaHa rig. Now, it is typically just a little information. It's called a HaHa rig because usually, you know, your first hook misses them, the second hook gets them, and you go, ha-ha, you got them. Or it's called a HaHa rig because the first one misses them and you go, ooh, ah. Just a little, you know, inside fisherman inside joke, I would imagine, that fishermen tend to make about the name of the rig. It's got a couple different names, like I said. You call it what you want. I call it a HaHa rig, in case you haven't noticed me calling it that several times. So, now we have our two hooks, tandemly tied, tandemly snelled. One here, one here. Now we're going to trim up our tag end. And there we go. We've got a HaHa rig, or a HaHa rig, whatever you'd like to call it. Now, for giggles, what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've made a mock-up so I can show you how to actually apply this rig properly. I have made us a horrible rendition of a Spanish sardine. I'm going to show you how to use this on the sardine. So, what you'll want to do is, let's say we're dragging it through the water this way. You can drag a sardine from the tail or from the head. So the first thing you'll want to do is you want to measure it out where your hook's going to go. Then you would take your back hook and insert it first. You want it to line up fairly good. Put it through his backside. And then you'll take your front hook and you'll put it right through the cartilage of the nose. And there you go. That rig is tight and good to go. Ready. Now, when you do a sardine, when you use a sardine to fish with and you're drifting with them, reef fishing with them, whatever you may do, you want to make sure that you trim off the tail right up to the cartilage. Not all the way up here to get rid of all the, to actually cut into the meat, but you want to cut up just to the cartilage. And then you're ready to drop this bad boy out, flatline him, go for your kingfish, go for your monster yellowtail, your mutton snapper, tuna, whatever you may. Now, I'm going to also show you another trick that you can do. So in my last episode, I talked about a duster. So, if you ever are really feeling frisky, you can throw on a duster, which is this little guy, and it will cover his nose and it adds a little enticement. It looks just like bubbles in front of your bait. And there you go. This application right here is very good. It'll drag through the water and it'll look like bubbles right in front of your fish, and we're good to go. So, the next thing I want to show you also is how to tail hook a sardine with this application. So, we're gonna yank our hooks out. Okay, so we want to tail hook them. The same thing, you're gonna want to trim up right to the cartilage. You see how I got a few little lines, a little bit of the tails left, just a little bit, not a lot. And you'll do the same thing. You're gonna want to measure your sardine to his back. You're going to want to put this hook in first. And then you'll come to the back and you're going to hook your second hook right into the cartilage. And then you're good to go. You throw it in, he'll be dragging backwards. Cutting the tail off of your sardine makes it so that it won't spin in the water as you are drifting away. If you don't cut that tail off, your bait is most definitely going to spin. It's going to look unnatural, and it's going to greatly decrease your chances of getting a hookup. All right, folks, that about does it for this week's Tips and Tricks Thursday. Again, the HaHa rig. You can use this reef fishing for snappers. You can use it drifting. You can even use it trolling for with strip baits and everything. Throw any, you can throw a sea witch in front of it. You can throw a duster in front of it. It's a deadly thing, and what happens is if this hook gets cut off, this one won't. Remember, it's called a HaHa rig or a HaHa rig, commonly known as, and like I said, if this hook misses them, this hook will get them. HaHa! You're good to go. All right, that's it. We're done with this one. We hope to see you next Tuesday for our episode. All right, South Florida saltwater fishing, we're out.